So I made a very controversial video about a week ago talking about my dating app experience. And the thing with me is I'm a pretty truthful and blunt person, but when it comes to YouTube, you have to be very careful with what you say, especially because this channel is tied with the channels that I do for my job. But then I get a comment from someone and I'm honestly not gonna hold back because that's like I said, that's not who I am, bro. So I'm gonna show you guys what happened, right? So a week ago, I made a video talking about my dating app experience. And basically, what I was saying is that I wasn't getting any likes from people I was interested in. So they're either fat or they were transgender. And somebody actually followed my page, which is hilarious. Like, why would you follow me if you're going to talk trash? So they follow me and then they comment publicly on my profile. So I have a picture with this girl that I met and we went to, you can't really see, but we went to a festival together. We hung out. So she comments, or he or she, I don't know. Like, I got respect, bro, so I'll keep it respectful. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but they commented on my picture, right? And immediately I'm thinking, like, that's just not appropriate at all to be publicly going on someone's profile and doing that. Like, send me a DM or something. So then, cool. So I open it up, and I'll tell you guys word for word what they say. So they say, I watched your video. I just don't understand why you think you were appealing to trans people. And my response was, I couldn't care less what they think of me. And I really couldn't, right? Like if, they come after me, if they try to take this down, if they continue to write to me, I couldn't care less. The reason why I make these videos is sort of just to explain you guys my thought process. And obviously it's a business at the end of the day. So we're trying to grow that. And then they do the typical, oh, well, you made a video on it, so obviously you care. Again, it's a business, so then yeah, so I write I couldn't care less, and then I didn't even know they responded until today because someone followed me and they were going through my Instagram and they saw that and they decided to write them a message, and they say that what did they say? Okay, so wow, this is a sad comment. Tearing someone down says more about you than him. I've seen plenty of way less attractive guys with beautiful women. Physical attraction is not the only factor. So for some context, he's referring to what they actually said to me. And I'm not going to read what they said to me because that's probably what they want me to do. Because again, they're obviously seeking attention. But it was basically talking about the structure of my face and things like that. And how no, girl would ever want you, which is hilarious because, I had a girl yesterday actually DM me and ask for my number and wants to hang out. And not to mention the countless of other very attractive girls that I've been with in my life. But, ever since I moved back to where I'm from, it's definitely been a struggle just because there's 4,000 people here. But people don't understand that the older you get, the more wise you are, the more experiences you gain. And you just get to a point, content creator or not, you just really don't care what people say. And I know you can make the argument, oh, this is coming from a guy who doesn't read the comments. I actually have been reading the comments a decent amount. And what I typically realize is, people, they like to sort of give advice when you don't even ask for it. And it's never constructive criticism. Like, so there was this creator with 287,000 subscribers who reacted to my video. And basically, he was he was like, all right, let's speed this up. So like the thing about me, bro, is I check my analytics. I make long videos and I see you guys watch through them. So I know that it resonates with you and you like the longer videos. So it's just disrespectful to be speeding through somebody's video that's trying to tell a story because you got to start somewhere. Like you don't just jump into it and be like, hey, here's what happened. Like, you got to build up to it, bro. So then you do that. And then, the thing, like commenting about my beard, bro, like my beard doesn't even look bad. Like you're telling me that if this beard looked better, I'd be pulling attractive girls. Nah, that's just BS. And then the gym thing, I'm 6'2", 185 pounds, athletic, lean build, right? Like muscle is cool and all, but you go and you talk to guys who are been lifting for like 6-7 years plus. They always tell you that, yeah, I mean, it might make a little difference, but it only kind of is brought up upon by like other guys who, because like, like they always say it's like, women don't really even notice that because the men are the ones like kind of putting in the work and stuff like that. And they appreciate it from each other, right? So, if you want to gain knowledge, you got to talk to people. You have to talk to people that have been through things. And that's kind of the thing with the gym. So it's just like, that's what I'm saying is people make reaction videos and they write to me, but it's all BS. I'm the average guy telling you guys the truth because I've experienced it, right? I've talked to people. I've gone out and approached probably 1,000 different women and ever since I turned 18. I'm 26 now. So gone on dates, been rejected, I've been in a relationship, have had one night stands. Can't say that I've had any experience with, well, I probably shouldn't say that, but let's just get past that. Because again, I don't want to get flagged. I don't really care if this channel gets taken down, but if this channel gets taken down, they're going to take down every channel. And let's just say we're pushing to 100,000 across my platform, so don't want to lose that. But I've honestly been more active on Instagram. That's kind of the future anyway. But yeah, it's just, I don't understand why people get so offended with people's opinions, right? Like, I didn't say I have a problem with trans. There was this one, it's probably like a month and a half ago to this point, but I got approached by someone who was trans and they told me they were trans, and I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's not really like, I don't really like do that. But I was like, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just not interested, right? Like, I always keep it respectful. I don't, like, if you're gay, if you're trans, it's not the problem. It's just, obviously the point of the message was that if I'm only attracting trans and people who are overweight, it can't be a good sign. That was kind of my message. And I thought it was a fun video. I know people really liked it. I mean, it did better than our typical video. But then you have somebody who comes to your profile, writes a bunch of mean things about the way I look, about no one would ever love you, no one would ever find you attractive. It's like, I'm happy that my message meant something to them enough for them to come do that. But it's like, do we really need to kind of put people down for their opinions? And then you get the extreme case of what happened with Charlie Kirk is, I didn't know too much about him. I've seen a couple of his videos, but the guy got shot and killed over an opinion he had, right? I'm not into politics. Like, I literally didn't even know he passed until my family told me. I don't pay attention to the news. I'm like in monk mode, but it really had me disappointed to where we are as a society, man, because like, it's kind of one thing if you're like a rapist or like molesting children, then in my opinion, at least, you deserve to die. For my Dexter fans out there, he's going to come and get you. But like, bro, if you have a political opinion, if you're liberal or not, you should be able to share that, and people should be able to respect it and have arguments and, talk it over. But it's pretty sad, bro. That's why I stay away from things like that. But to be real with you guys, it's difficult with this type of niche because there's only so much you can kind of do and you can kind of say. My guy Hex Speaks, I feel like I talk about him way too much on that channel, but he's been flagged and this and that for some of the things he said, and it's just an opinion. Like, if you're not attracted to transgenders or people who are overweight, like, that's a preference, right? I'm not putting them down. I never said they were less of a person. Is it kind of disappointing? Yeah, that a straight woman isn't attracted to me that's like sort of on my level. Yeah, it's like, it's definitely disappointing. It kind of makes you feel crappy. But I think the less time you spend on social media and the less time you spend on dating apps, the better. And the thing I like about YouTube is I didn't force you guys to click on this video. There might be a rare occurrence to where you finish a video and then you're kind of like AFK and then the video comes on. Like, that happens to me sometimes. But the majority of you, I'm sure, clicked on this video and you were interested. And if you're still watching, it must be resonating with you, or maybe it's not and you just kind of want to finish it and then give me your opinion or whatever in the comments. But yeah, we just it's really just disappointing that happened, but it's far from the last time, right? The bigger I get, the more it will happen. And I told you guys to open up the video how little I care about what people have to say. I don't at all, but when you start to see it all the time and you just kind of question yourself, it's like, did I do a good enough job of building on my community? And it's like, is this what it's come to? But then you have to understand, and this was something that I heard in a video from Will Upton. I think his channel is just Will Upton or Wupton or something like that. He's a guy that I've known since high school who also makes videos like this. And, he said something along the lines of, your biggest supporters, you don't even know who they are. And that's what I had to remind myself. The people who, there are some of you guys out there that comment on every video, and I typically see a lot of the same people, but it goes the same way. It's like the same people talk trash, the same people are positive, but like, And I'm not saying that like the biggest supporters, there are big supporters who I see comment, but there's a lot of supporters I can pretty much promise you that don't comment, probably aren't even subscribed, that don't like the videos, but they're just tuning in and they're just consistent and they're there. And people don't really comment on YouTube. So that's what I had to remind myself time and time again with the Swaggy Out channel is like, hey man, people are going to put me down when I'm already down, but why not use that as sort of motivation to push to be great, right? Like, for example, the girl who asked for my number yesterday, we've been texting and she wanted to call me. The Red Sox game got over 15 minutes ago. I'm making this video and I'm probably going to go to bed or something, but it's 10:33. It's kind of hard, 10:34 now. Nice. It's like drizzling, man. There's something about light rain where it just kind of calms me and soothes me. But I've been putting in crazy work days, man. Like, you guys got to understand, like, bro, I don't have a social life. I'm not going on dates. I'm not hanging out with friends. It's just all content. And it's just an addiction is trying to make content and trying to be better. And, seeing my analytics and knowing that they're not where I want them to be. And sometimes you can't really control it. I mean, I've been starting, if you guys didn't know, I've been starting to use AI a little bit more for my titles. My last video about the girl who asked for my number, I did have an AI title, but I switched it to like something I made up. But like the previous two were AI, and I'm really trying to grow. Heck made like 3.2K last month off of this type of niche, and 3.2K to a lot of people is nothing, but to me it's good, bro, because even if you're making 3.2K a month, you can definitely have your own crib, and you might not be the most comfortable in the world, but you can definitely survive. So I'm trying to just make like hell, even 1K, even off of Swag Yo, obviously not YouTube in general, but like if Swag Yo could just bring me a 1K, I mean, that, just to be able to cover rent, and then also you need to get food, and, insurance sucks ass and things like that, especially once you turn 26, man, like, it gets expensive. And my car insurance isn't terrible, considering I have a sports car, but, I also have been driving for 8 years and haven't had as little as a ticket, but it's just not cheap. And, the thing with YouTube is it doesn't pay much at all. How YouTubers make money is through sponsors and brand deals. And they just don't really reach out to me, right? Like I'll maybe once or twice a month, but the big companies, I think you kind of have to reach out to them, and there's people out there that actually do that for you and they take a cut. But it's like, it's nice and all, but damn, bro, like, don't you wish just in a perfect world that like you as a creator could literally just figure this all out on your own? Everyone wants money. This one guy reached out to me with 1 million followers on Instagram, and he wanted to help my business, and he was asking for a lot of money. And I was like, I made a video on it. I was kind of bummed out because I was like, I don't even have the money to give him to do that. And then I realized, like, this guy's probably a scammer, bro. Because if people are asking you for money, that's all. Like, I know it's a weird not an analogy, I guess, but it's like therapy. Like, kind of reminds me of therapy. Is like, if somebody really wanted to help you, why are you paying them, right? People DM me and they ask for my advice, and sometimes I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm the last person that should be giving advice. That's why I don't know if you guys ever noticed, I don't give advice. Who the hell am I to be giving advice on anything? If maybe I'm like trying to build up a YouTube channel, but like people, like if anybody's asking for money, like if you need help and they want money, like I don't agree with that. Now, I'm not saying that's always a scam, because like there are courses out there that I'm sure are beneficial. But whenever somebody asks me for advice or like guidance, like the first thing I don't do is ask them for money. You feel me? So it's like, it's just, man, I just wish that people could kind of help each other a little bit more. I know nothing in life is really free, but I'm hoping that one day somebody can reach out to me and has a plan for me with my channels and my businesses and things like that, and can kind of set me on the right path. But I just realized this was supposed to be a video about everything, and it kind of went completely south. But this goes to show that I made a video, I got what I had to, and then you move forward, bro. But the worst thing you should do is fall into the trap of reading negativity and what people are saying about you, right? Like, people used to react to me all the time. I was on the radio. Somebody messaged me, they're like, bro, like they're talking about you on the radio. And I join, I give them a call and I start talking to them. And I was like, why am I doing this, bro? I was like, why do I give a fuck? Like what any of these people think about me, right? The only thing that, the only people that I really should care about what they think would be like my family and my friends and, the real supporters, right? Like, there's people who comment, typically like who are always consistent, spreading positivity. Like if those guys kind of reach out to me and they say like, hey man, like I don't know about this, like you hear them out. But it's like, people are trolling, bro. Like, David Goggins kind of said it best. He was like, you'll never find a hater doing better than you. So whenever I see people like that in my Instagram, like if you guys want to go check it out, you can. It's the picture of me and the girl with like the red hair, at Swaggy01K. But it's just truly how it is nowadays. Is you're a nobody unless people are talking about you, right? Like if that didn't happen, I'd be a nobody. My videos wouldn't be hitting people. So unfortunately, success comes with that, right? Success comes with hate and a lot of it, but it just goes to show that you're on the right path. Part of me still feels like I'm right there. I'm just like one video away, but also part of me feels like I'm so not even close. I don't know if I have the experience, the stories, the personality to be able to grow this to like 100,000 subs, but I'm going to sure as hell try. And, once I do get to my destination, I'm going to look back on it and be like, hey man, imagine if I stop. But I'll end it on this, bro, because, man, this hurts to say, bro. You guys don't even understand how much this hurts to say. But there's this one guy who I've been talking to for probably like a month now. And, we've considered potentially rooming together in the city because we're both kind of want to do content. We both kind of want to like approach girls and things like that and gain a social circle. But you guys ever feel like you have a friend, but they're not really like pushing themselves to be their best and you feel like they might hold you back? That's how I feel about this, guys. I feel like if I move in with someone and they're not really getting after it, it's going to hold me back. And that was like with my last two roommates is like I wanted so much more, but they didn't. It's cool. Like, being comfortable is cool and all, but I've never been like that, right? I took a chance doing YouTube full time. Moved halfway across the country, got my own place. Obviously, after 2 years, it didn't work out. But you live and you learn. I want to do content creation for the rest of my life, and it's going to be uncomfortable. That's the thing, is it's never going to be comfortable. There's going to be a point in time and time again, where I don't really think I'm going to be able to do Swag Yell, and I'm going to have to push through it and fight. And, being that I'm 26, turning 27, now is the best time in my life to just go out and to experience things and to make videos on it. And that's why the girl who asked for my number yesterday, I kind of asked her if she wanted to go to Texas with me next month and meet me there and hang out, because that would be a life-changing experience. Like, I'm sure you guys would want to hear about a girl who DMs me wanting my number and we hang out and seeing how that goes. Right? I don't know how anyone, that's been following me wouldn't be interested in that, man. I mean, I'm not saying it's the most exciting thing in the world, but those are the experiences that I need. And I'm super excited to be able to do it. I'm super grateful. I know I talk all the time about the struggles, about the situation I'm in, but there's also a blessing in it too, because you have the opportunity to take trips like this. And the fact that this girl is honestly willing to just like miss some time from work and to go there and to hang out is definitely cool. But, part of me as well, like I said, bro, I don't backtrack. I'm not switching up. I mean, I still know who I'm looking for in a life partner, and nothing's going to change that. Like, there's a certain level of standard and attractiveness that I want. And I wouldn't, like, even if someone was like okay looking, but they had like the biggest heart and they were super cool and funny and down to earth, like genuine, like that still wouldn't make me want to spend the rest of my life with them. And, the more I think about it, the more I realize of how much I made the right decision with my previous relationship, because it wasn't really fair to the both of us. And again, it comes down to complacency, man. It was awesome to go on dates and to have constant sex and to be loved and things like that. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is me loving myself. And I love myself. I really do. Like I've grown to appreciate myself, and man, it's just an awesome feeling because there was a point in time where I needed validation. Like I needed people in the comments to feel bad for me. I needed to care about this and that. Like, you know what I realized is people don't really care about you. The more I realize is like the people around me don't really care at all. And that's why I've become a lot more selfish. And, you know, that mentality is going to get you to the next level. I'm not saying to be greedy necessarily, but if you're just selfish and you're focused on you and doing what's best for you, it's going to go a long way, bro, because people will walk over you, man. And to be real, I kind of came to that realization of this one guy I've been talking to. I was like, some people just don't change, bro. Like you look at me, I mean, I kind of came up short, but I could have just kept, I had a video game problem, bro. Like I was really good at this one video game and I wanted to do it full time, but it wasn't making any money. And after a while, I was like, let me cold turkey. I haven't played in like 3 months. And I was playing every single day, like all the time. And, I just cold turkey it. And, I want to change. And it's like my dating life. Like I understand that I'm struggling, but it's like, hey man, let me try, I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9. Deion Waiters once said, because that means I stopped shooting. I stopped trying to score. So it's exhausting over and over again going through failures, and like you go through the trials and tribulations and things like that. But that's what it takes, bro. Like if you try something enough, eventually you'll succeed. It's a cliche, but it's the truth. So no, I'm not settling. No, I'm not interested in anything that I said in the beginning of the video. But as long as I stay true to myself and keep working and keep grinding, good things will come, man. Like, you just never know. You never know who's watching. You never know who's about to message you. And like I said, people can keep hating. People can keep trolling. But at the end of the day, I'm winning. React to me, cool. Message me, hate, cool, bro. At the end of the day, like, you either love or you hate me. Both are in my favor. That was pretty cold. I'm out. Peace.